Welcome to Project Lead the Way, third grade introduction story for life cycles and survival. The story is called Community Garden. Good morning, students, greeted Mrs. Morales. Put your things away so that we can go work in the community garden behind the school. Some of the fruits and vegetables are ready to harvest. Community garden? Susie asked. I thought the garden belonged to the school? Mrs. Morales replied, the garden provides fruits and vegetables for the families that live near the school. We help care for it. Let's go, my garden helpers. Milo, Susie, and Angelina joined their class to walk out to the community garden. I've been waiting for this, Angelina says. Remember when we were in second grade and we planted the seeds in the garden? I know what you mean, Angelina, Milo replied. I remember seeing last year's third graders gather green beans and pumpkins. I hope we get to sample them. The students walked to Miss Morales and noticed she looked concerned. What's wrong, Miss Morales? Susie asked. The garden is not producing as much this year as it did last year, Mrs. Morales answered. Milo added, I see what you mean. I don't see any apples, pumpkins, or cucumbers. There's plenty of corn and chili peppers and green beans, Angelina exclaimed. I know what is happening, said Mrs. Morales. I think some of our plants did not get pollinated. Did you say pollinated? Asked Milo. Yes, Miss Morales said. Pollination is when pollen is transferred from the stamen to the pistil of the flower. After the flower is pollinated, it produces a seed in our garden. Pollination is necessary for the plants to form a fruit or vegetable. So why do we have corn, chili, and peppers and green beans? Asked Susie. Mrs. Morales continued. Different plants have different pollinators. Birds, bats, bees, and wind are all pollinators, and some plants can pollinate themselves. Self-pollinating plants does not need help. That is why we have corn, chili peppers, and green beans. They're self-pollinating plants. I guess apples and pumpkins and cucumbers are not self-pollinating plants, added Milo. You are correct, Milo, exclaimed Miss Morales. More specifically, they need to be pollinated by bees. Bees? The three friends said together. Why aren't the bees doing their job? Asked Angelina. Well, it's not that they're not doing their job. The bees aren't here, replied Miss Morales. I recently read an article in our local newspaper about the decline of bees and what we can do to help them. Sounds like a problem, Susie said. I think that we can help the bees, Milo said. Yes, Angelina said. Let's start researching what bees need to survive and bring the bees back to our community garden. How do bees impact your life? If you were to design a solution that promotes the survival of bees, what would it include to meet the needs of the bees and help the bees' population grow?